Fear is overridden. In every situation, from my life. You must understand that fear is the number one killer of humans, their dreams, aspirations and anything good in life. And I used to feel fear quite strongly. To a point where it choked up my life. It takes away the joy of things by clouding your mind with untrue facts and perception. We are programmed for decades to operate with fear or on fear. Our lives are ruled with fear of all sorts of things. And it is absolutely true that on the other side of fear, greatness lies. But it is easier said than done. I won't claim that I am fearless now, but I can override fear by shifting my thinking to see the other side. Walk with faith and you will never be afraid. This type of mental shift is impossible for a man who is a slave to his cravings and temptations of the world. You simply do not have the willpower to face this beast if you cannot even look yourself in the mirror and deny yourself of cheap and everyday instant gratifications. And for a man, what is more easier than to fall prey to his sexual desires? No man can control his life if he cannot control his cravings. Fear is the driving force of common man. Simply because his mind doesn't have the juice to override the fear with willpower. Or the clarity of perspective to see beyond fear. Control means to go for what you want. Despite the clear indications of the five senses that it is not possible. This is why semen retention is such a pivotal practice that every man should do. Why, you ask? What is the number one thing that men are slaves to? It is their sex desire. And a cheaper, more accessible way to achieve this carnal desire is masturbation. And every time you do it, it takes a toll on your willpower reservoir as well as your own manliness. Because you know that your mind wants sex, not masturbation. So, it triggers these emotions of guilt and unworthiness. And down you go into the rabbit hole. Such a man is helplessly vulnerable to fear. More so than any other man or woman. Masturbation has a much deeper psychological cost than physical. It takes away a man's pride. Provided he possesses a sense of pride within him in the first place. I no longer let fear in, simply because my mind has a deeper clarity to see things how I want them to be. This was impossible prior to semen retention. I was a man leading life at the mercy of external circumstances. This is how most men operate. Letting the outer world dictate their lives. Outer world is just a reflection of you. And if you are chipping away your own pride by caving into your carnal desires, then the outer world will overpower you even more. You must understand. You never have complete control of the outer world. But it is a reflection of you. So, once you take complete control of yourself, the outer world will mirror it and indirectly, you will be in control of your outer world too. Semen retention is a far deeper concept than just not masturbating. Because it will open up your eyes to other similar limiting things that you do in your life that take your pride away and weaken you mentally. And once you are on your knees mentally, then comes the Grim Reaper cloaked in fear, ready to rule your life. Faith is what destroys fear. But faith in what? Faith in the real you. The being inside you that is directly connected to the infinite intelligence. Mortal man cannot have faith in his mortal self. It is the faith in the divine self that will set you free. Because your worldly self knows only fear, while the divine has no concept of fear within. So, you can be in complete control of your worldly self, consequently, letting the divine self conform your surroundings to match your worldly mind. This is the pinnacle of self-control. Start with controlling your urges. And then train your mind to see only that you want to see. And you will begin to see why fear is utterly pointless in every single situation.